What's up everybody, it's Dave here with Oberk Car Care, and today we are going to be working on Mike Ring's brand new personal Dodge Hellcat. This is going to be a really great detail. We're going to go through the exterior paint surfaces and do a full paint correction and ceramic coating. The great part about this video is we're going to show factory shrinkage and dieback from the paint factory going through the bake process. This car has it really bad, so we're going to actually have to go through the full two-step paint correction prior to doing it, and this car only has about 100 miles on it. Because the defects are so bad, we're going to use the Oberk two-step process. Make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment below if you've got any questions. We'll try to make sure that all of the products and things that we discuss are in the description below. All right, we're back. We were supposed to be doing this K5 Blazer. Maddie, myself, and Dan, we're going to be sanding and buffing and getting this all ready for delivery. But the seats weren't finished, so they had to do a couple things to finish it up. It's not going to be done for a couple weeks. We had planned to do a ceramic coating package for one of the neighbors here, kind of fitted in on the same trip, but because that wasn't done, we're going to go at Mike's new SRT. He's got a purple Hellcat here. We thought this would be a great video to do. Maddie and I are here, Dan is not. We've got this washed and prepped from last night. But if you look at this, the dieback and shrinkage from the bake process and the painting process in the factory is probably the worst I've ever seen. The finish on all of the horizontal top surfaces is pretty bad. And we're gonna attempt to cut and polish it out and then ceramic coat it for him. All right, so we are taping this hot dog off to get her going. There's a lot more noticeable at night when we didn't have the daylight coming through the windows, but the texture or the, it almost looks like solvent pop, but the surface of the horizontal panels on this car are very bad. They have a lot of shrinkage or dieback that usually takes place in the automated painting process when they bake it. But this is abnormally bad. So we wanted to do some test spots, see what we might need to do on this. You can see right here, they call these in the OEM, they call them a partial buff. So what you can see is there's a little ring right here where they sanded it with a 1 1/4 inch disc, something like that. They come back to buff them out and they didn't fully buff it out. Obviously you can tell that a lot of this shrinkage and dieback came back after that as well, because you can see the area that was sanded, but the same texture that we're seeing is actually in that spot where they buffed too. So some of this happened over time as the car sat after it was released from the factory. But we did a test spot on the hood and we were able to remove all this texture just with a heavy cutting step with a microfiber or wool pad and Oberk sole or Oberk cut. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna use Oberk sole. If you see right here, did a test spot right here and it removed all of that pitting, almost looks like solvent pop. And then we look over here and it's pretty heavy. So to make this go really well on the hood specifically, Maddie is gonna come in here with the rotary and he's gonna cut in all of these edges so that we can make sure that we remove all of that and don't worry about any of the high spots buffing through the clear coat. I'm gonna come through with the DA and clean up everything else. The roof we're gonna be okay with. There's not a lot of curves and contours, but then we're gonna have to do the same thing with the trunk. We do have the tops of the fenders that have the same thing, but as we come into the sides of the vehicle, it's a lot less. So we still have stuff to deal with on the side. It's not gonna be nearly as bad as the top, but essentially this car needs to get fully corrected before we can ceramic coat it. We gotta make sure that it looks extra special because this is Mike Ring's personal car. He just picked it up and got his suspension on it and got the alignment dialed in yesterday, and now it's time for us to get it ceramic coated. We're gonna use a couple different coatings between the glass, the trim, the paint, And then after we're all done with it, he's waiting for a nice custom one-off set of HRE wheels that are pretty cool. He'll have the only set of them. They were made for a movie, and they were only made for a movie. He's gonna get that same design that they used in the movie in a 19-inch, but he's getting a 20-inch. So it'll be the only set that was ever made like that. And it will be a nice color to make this set it off. I'll tell you, they won't be black. So let's get going on this and see what Matty has to think of it once he gets cutting.
Oh yeah, ready to go.
Most people would wonder, why aren't you just sanding it? Well, because there's not a lot of clear coat on factory painted cars. So we want to remove as little amount of clear, but actually remove all the texture. So it's kind of a balance of both. We did, however, have to jump back into using Oberk Cut for that first step. I was hoping that we didn't, but we did. And we went ahead and did that with our new prototype rotary and DA wool pads. Matty went around the edge work and boxed everything in like we discussed. And I went around and DA'd all the big flat surfaces to clean everything else up. Here you can see the panel to the left we haven't done anything with, and the panel to the right has been cut out with a wool pad and then a DA pad, and the clarity is much, much better. The Flex PXE80 is an awesome tool. It's great for 3-inch work. It works awesome for the 1-inch and 2-inch work. It's not as slim as a Rupa's hybrid, but it has a ton of power, and it's honestly just such a great machine for versatile 3-inch work without using a cord.
If it's going to need a third step, I think on the hood, on the top that got rotary, it's only going to take another 20-30 minutes to polish it quick.
What do you got here, Matty?
A lot of tools, Mr. Patterson. What do you say there, huh? Wool and fiber and the old Oberk Cut.
Yeah.
Doing its magic. One project, many tools.
Nice. Yeah.
Just finished polish passenger side. Matty's wiping her down right now. And we're gonna pull it outside. blow off all the dust. Yeah, we got to get all the dust from the heavy compounding. It looks really good. What do you think, Maddie?
Dude, it looks awesome. Hard work pays off.
How good it was?
Just dusty.
A little dusty. We're gonna go blow it off, pull it up, and give it the old panel prep. Make sure it's ready for ceramic coating. So it's all wiped down. We got it pulled in, set up some lights, and we're going to give it a wipe down with some panel prep, a panel wipe, and get it ready, and then ceramic coat it.
Rotary microfiber foam, and then the sides was kind of the same approach, but in some spots it was also the DA with the wool pen.
Yep.
So this is pretty challenging stuff because this edge work, right? You have where plastic meets the metal, and trying to dial it in without damaging one or the other is time consuming. So
Yep.
really, that's what makes a car. There's a lot of defined lines all the way from here. Especially this hood. This hood was a little bit of a challenge. This was all masked off, as you've seen in the video. But these bevels, these turns, these rolls and drops, this is why we chose to use the rotary. Just to power through all that stuff. Well, it looks really good.
Yeah.
It's gonna look awesome when it's coated.
Yeah, so now we got it all panel wiped down. Got to touch up a couple spots to make sure they are right, and we are going to start coating it.
We went ahead and coated the glass surfaces with Gtechniq G5 glass coating. We applied one coating on the windshield, went around and applied it to the rest of the glass, and then applied a second coat to the windshield before we began to remove it with the residue remover.
Ended up starting to coat this, forgot to turn on the camera. Everybody's left. It's about 10 o'clock. Maddie had to get out of here about 7 o'clock. About that time we were maybe about halfway through it. Wheels are not coated because we got some custom HREs, one-offs that we were talking about earlier that are gonna come, and we'll get those coated. The paint is all coated, and the glass is coated, and the plastic trim is coated. It's all gonna sit and set up. Used some Gtechniq C4 on all the black trim pieces. And got everything all done. It looks awesome. Overall, for the condition it was in, we got this thing looking super top notch. Went through this car on kind of like a two-step, like Maddie was saying. We cut it with Maddie did a rotary wool on the hood and around all the edge work and the curvatures, because the texture was a lot more difficult to remove on the edges and we didn't want to damage anything. So he went around, rotary cut everything. After that, we came back with our microfiber pad and Oberk sole, and we cleaned up the rotary marks and the DA haze, and that actually left almost a perfect finish. Besides the areas where you might have had to tip the polisher or contour a little bit differently, those areas left a little bit of ticking or hazing. So then we finally went over the entire vehicle with the Oberk yellow foam and sole again. Sole was polishing out really good on this car, so we decided to finish with sole. Looks absolutely fantastic, and we've got it all together. Gave it a quick vacuum, finished off the windows, and it's going to be all ready for Mike to drive it here soon. We will hopefully have an update by the time that this video comes out, and maybe even a little clip of it with the new wheels on it. But until then, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment below if you liked the video, or if you have any questions on Oberk Car Care. You can contact us at info@oberkcarcare.com, or you can go check out our website at oberkcarcare.com. Thanks again.